Hello and welcome, fellow digital soldiers, to True Reporting. It is the 16th of September, and on today's podcast, we have three very big articles. A lot took place over this past weekend. We have coming from the Epic Times. Trump says U.S. is, in quote, locked and loaded after Saudi attack amid oil price surge. And if you did not know, a huge oil facility in Saudi Arabia went up in smokes. It was a fireball after a missile hit it, I believe. Guys, this is just another deep state faction that is either coming from Iran, Saudi Arabia, or the lesser of the two. Again, my friends, this story is still in the midst of coming out, so I'm sure we'll find out more on it. Also, big news coming out. This is quite strange, guys. Democrats and media go all in on horrible smear, another one against Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh, even as the story falls apart. So what does this shoot red flags up about RBG, right? They're trying to keep her alive. If POTUS gets another Supreme Court justice in there, that is going to be doomsday for the Dems. They cannot have this happen. So obviously something is going to be coming up within the Supreme Court. I think that they start bringing this up again. They're not going to get him impeached out of the Supreme Court. I don't know what they're going to do, but they continue to smear this man even after the story falls apart. And my friends, making the mainstream right here, we see does the new drone footage reveal underground lair on Jeffrey Epstein's pedo island. Underground lair tunnels. How long have we known about this? We've known about the underground tunnels for almost 2 years now, and it's starting to break into the mainstream. This is huge, my friends. So I will stay on top of that for you as well. My friends, it's good to be back. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Before we get into today's podcast, would you please welcome my sponsor, Virtual Shield VPN. Hey guys, Thomas from True Reporting here. Are you aware of Virtual Shield VPN? Do you even know what a VPN does? A VPN actually secures your IP address so that people who like to hack, get on your computer and steal your information, they're not able to. It's a secured way to keep your information safe. It's very important to do this. And for the month of September, Virtual Shield is giving away a 30% discount when you sign up today for a 30-day free trial. I'll show you how it works. Check this out. All right, guys, so all you have to do is go to virtualshield.com/TRU. We see here, this is what will be brought up, $3.49 a month after the 30-day free trial. You can always cancel. All you do is click Start Now for free, and you will get the 30% discount. I use this every day when I work, and you should too. So don't be left behind, and do not let your information get stolen. Please choose virtualshield.com for your VPN today. So guys, protect yourself by going to virtualshield.com/TRU for a 30% discount today. Thanks, guys, and enjoy the podcast. All right, guys, it's good to have you aboard. Before we get into today's podcast, would you please go ahead and click the notification bell so when I post to this channel, you'll be the first to know. Also, please click the like button. The more likes that this video receives, the more times it is recommended to other viewers, thus more eyes on the truth. With that being said, my friends, let's go ahead and hop into it. This is True Reporting. So again, my friends, it says here that Trump says the U.S. is locked and loaded, in quotes, after Saudi attack amid oil price surge. This is very concerning to me, guys. That still implicates that there is still a deep state coming from, obviously, Iran, trying to push us into war. But under this administration, as I've said many a time, we will not be going to war. No boots on the ground. If anything, there will be drone attacks on the deep state in Iran or Saudi Arabia, whoever has done this crime. President Donald Trump said the United States is locked and loaded to respond to an attack on a Saudi oil field over the weekend, pending verification by the kingdom who the attackers are. We know who it is, the deep state, but obviously he cannot say that out loud, or there would be so much speculation. He would basically get thrown under the bus 100%. And it could infringe on 2020. Trump's remarks came as he authorized the release of the oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve after Saudi oil production reportedly plummeted in the wake of the story. Saudi Arabia oil supply was attacked. Trump wrote on Twitter on the evening of September 15th There is reason to believe that we know the culprit, are locked and loaded depending on verification, but are awaiting to hear from the kingdom as to who they believe the cause of this attack and under what terms we would proceed, obviously. His tweet follows a statement from Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Always trust Kansas, right? Over the weekend that Iran was to blame for the attack on Saudi oil infrastructure, coming amid elevated tensions between Iran and the United States. I'm just really glad that we got that warmonger John Bolton out of there, because doesn't this just seem like it's just all in order? I know innocent people have died, but it just seems as though we get rid of Bolton and then this happens, right? This was, 3 days prior to Bolton leaving, right? It just seems very strange of events, very weird timeline. Iran is behind nearly 100 attacks on Saudi Arabia, while Rouhani and Zarif pretend to engage in diplomacy. Rouhani is definitely deep state for sure, not a fan of ours. Pompeo said via Twitter, amid all the calls for de-escalation, Iran has now launched an unprecedented attack on the world's energy supply. I thought we were the ones who were exporting the most oil and the most natural gas. I could be wrong. It says here, there is no evidence the attacks came from Yemen. So let me look into some posts from 17 to kind of throw this out there to you guys real quick. So we see here, post 1320, it says, today evil lost control. Leverage of Iran. Today POTUS took control of Iran. Well, obviously, this is quite possibly true, but there still are deep state factions out there spread out throughout the Middle East. Terrifying, right? Obviously, we do have leverage. We have leverage against them once we took out the nuclear facilities during that drone strike last year, which was absolutely huge. Remember, we took out those tunnels. That's what happened. This is what this post is about right here. It says, what if Iran created a classified satellite nuclear facility in northern Syria? So in Syria, that is where we took out all of their nuclear capabilities. They still have missiles, though, right? They still have those warheads that they can send up and out. But nevertheless, I'm sure we will hear more about this as this story is developing. It just happened over the weekend. Trust our president, my friends. We will not be going to war. There will be no boots on the ground. Let's get into the next story of today. It says here from DCWhispers.com, Democrats and media go all in on horrible smear against Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh, even as the story falls apart. It says here, just when you thought the far left would go no lower, they managed to do just that. This time, it was once again Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh and decade-old allegations of boorish college behavior. The problem? The allegation was already disproven months ago, and the woman alleged to be involved now says she has absolutely no recollection of it ever happening. That didn't stop the New York Times, obviously Project Mockingbird, running a story followed by a tepid retraction after the damage was done, and nearly every Democrat candidate for president calling for the impeachment of Justin Kavanaugh for something all the facts say he did not do. It says here, alleged victim in New York Times Kavanaugh story denies any recollection of the incident. But there's something bigger to this, my friends. There's something much larger than this. I believe that they're throwing this at Kavanaugh again because something major could be happening in the Supreme Court. I don't know if RBG is alive. I don't know who that person is. Obviously, they can keep it behind closed doors. I don't know if it's a clone, body double. I'm not sure. But nevertheless, I really believe that something could be happening at the Supreme Court. Me and Red Pill have spoken about this, that you have Roberts, who is definitely, he is in there as a Republican, as a conservative, but is most certainly not, guys. So if we can get him out, get RBG out, we throw in two more Supreme Court justices that we know will abide by the Constitution, we will be money, my friends. We will be able to pass so much more. We'll be able to keep the rule of law in place, right? A fair and level playing field for America. This is what we need. Fair and justly trials, correct? Absolutely. So again, this story could be nothing. It could be something that may be happening here in the near future. We're going to have to keep our eyes on it for the time being. Now, my friends, I think this is the big story that is coming mainstream media, right? Does new drone footage reveal underground lair on Jeffrey Epstein's you-know-what island? This is from 3 days ago. Ever since Jeffrey Epstein made national headlines for you know what in 2008, the disgraced financier's lifestyle has been under a microscope following his June 6 arrest on federal charges of sex trafficking minors. However, particular attention has been made to his Caribbean island, Little St. James, also known as You Know What Island, where Epstein allegedly kept a harem of underage sex slaves to serve at the pleasure of he and his rich and famous visitors. As you can see here. It says here, while Epstein sat in jail pending trial before his alleged suicide, a YouTube channel under the name of Rusty Shackelford began uploading high-resolution drone footage of just about every visible nook and cranny of Little St. James. From the main property where a previously seen computer mysteriously disappeared days later, to a strange cube-shaped temple, to Epstein's giant sundial, to an ambulance, the island, which is still being maintained by an active staff of locals, has no shortage of oddities. You know how many people look at Zero Hedge? A ton of people, guys. I know there's a lot of people that follow these YouTube channels that cover 17 that actually put out information, like great information, like True Reporting, like other ones in this movement, guys. But what I'm telling you is a ton of people watch Zero Hedge. A lot of normies read this, and they're going to start thinking about underground tunnels. What are you talking about, underground tunnels? And then it'll start to creep out. The surveillance footage, right? Remember all of the pictures of the kids that are down there in the basement, someone waiting on top of the stairs? There's obviously footage from there, right? A lot takes place, probably bathhouses. God only knows, guys. But we're going to get into it right here, right now. On Wednesday, Shackelford filmed a storage building which has seen dozens of times in his footage. The structure butts up against a hill and appears relatively unassuming. As you can see here, storage unit backing up into this ground right here. Here's the road that goes behind it. So obviously this is going juts into the ground. This time, however, he was filming at just the right time of day so that the sun hit the back wall of the shed, exposing locking double doors leading into the hillside. What appears to be light coming from underneath. Right here is the light we can see here, the double doors. And it says here, meanwhile, there are strange tubes emerging from the ground of the adjacent storage shed. These are the tubes coming out. I've covered this before, but this is something that normies are going to see. They're going to read this and be like, what is going on? In another section of the island, another set of doors appears to lead into a hillside. Right here. Right here. Okay? Very weird. So while we have no idea what's behind these mysterious doors on Epstein Island, he was accused of running a sex trafficking operation, and there are doors leading into what appears to be underground facilities. Whether they lead to an elaborate underground lair or simply ultra-secure broom closets is anyone's guess. Just one question. If there is an underground network on the island, where did they put all the dirt? Booyah, right here. They're going to build it up. They can build it up. It would be so easy to build mounds, cover in graves of a mass grave. Who knows at this point? My friends, if you found this informative and you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. A big shout out to my friend Casey from the Peelback Report for this new hat. I love wearing hats when we do this podcast, so thank you, Casey. I greatly appreciate it. Guys, also, you can follow me on Twitter at TRUreporting. Don't forget to leave a like. You can support this channel by going to my PayPal, my Patreon. We have True Reporting merch and a P.O. box. If all of that suits you well, please donate and keep the channel afloat. All of those links are in the description box below. My friends, take care of one another, be kind to one another, and remember, there is a POTUS rally tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in New Mexico, but maybe he will talk about what is taking place in Saudi Arabia, also with Brett Kavanaugh. We shall see. Guys, take care of one another, and I will see you very soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.